Now let's move on to the team 3, which is the Education University of Hong Kong. So you will also have 8 minutes for the presentation. Thank you.
Hello everyone, we are at HKAE. So we are so excited to be here to present our products to all of you for the first time. Our product called Glean. It's a tool to capture the knowledge beyond the slide. So you may be curious, that is why we call this Glean, and what is the means the word Glean, the meaning of the word Glean. So actually, Glean means to pick up the things that you lost and maybe you find. So what is the thing you lost? You get everything you hear. You get a camera here. You get a control pen in your hand. Everything is not changed. Everything is hold at your side. So what is lost? So let me ask you questions. What about the words I have told you just? Yeah, can you remember the words I just told you just a moment before? Yeah, you can't remember. You can't recall all of these words because you cannot review all the words I have told you. So those are the things that we lose, and I want to mention. So let's come to these examples. So here is a slide that's a picture with a picture that's described the iceberg model, and the teacher was teaching use this slide. He just do not directly tell the words in the PowerPoint, but will elaborate it. He may explain what is the iceberg models. He may take some example to make it clearly, and also he may ask some students to check whether they really understand this knowledge. And you can see that the students listen very carefully, and everything looks very good. But what is going to be after the course? So when the students review the course through the slide, he may be confused. Why? Because he can only see a picture and a few words in this slide, but he loses some important things. That is like the impromptu explanations, and also the real-world examples, and also the dynamic interactions from the teachers. Yeah, but the students are not stupid. They can use the method to prevent this happen. So we conclude 3 extending methods that how the students address these problems. The first one is take notes. Like all of you here use the pen to take notes, to record what I have said. So, but we find some problem of this method. That is, when you take notes, it will distract the students from focusing on the course. And also, the taking notes cannot capture everything. So you cannot write down all of what I said in your hand, in your book. Also, some students may use the real-time transcriptions. But it also gets some problem, like it can only provide the raw transcripts without slides matchings, which means they cannot provide a structured note. And also some students may just upload the PowerPoint to the AI chatbots, like what I like to do, and ask AI a few questions to learn the knowledge. But the problem is generation context without course they can only provide the generation context without course reality. That means all the knowledge you learn is not from the course, but the generation by the AI. And also, I want to mention that AI generation is unreliable for learning because it has hallucinations issues, so you cannot predict what it will answer to you. Yeah.
So to wrap up quickly what he wanted to talk about, that we found a critical problem that the most learning happens between the slides. When the teacher elaborates everything, maybe making freestyles and explaining it in a very common language, So as a education university students, we try to like solve it and find a solution. So our objectives is built on 4 pillars. The first one is capture. So we're not just recording audios, recording the lectures. We are trying to sort them and very accurately give for the student. The next one is structure. So as I said, we just not giving the speech to text, taking the text from the audio. We're trying to structurize it and minimize the leak of information and knowledge. The third one is the accuracy. So as we said, AI frequently making some hallucinations and may give like false information. So we nearly try to have 100% accuracy for our informations. And the fourth one is sustainability, to make our Glean program fit in the classroom and become a part of normal teaching and studying. So we didn't just take it from the air or made up the information. We made a survey in our university among students, teachers, and 88% of them said that they missing out very important information from the teachers' freestyles, and 68% of them, 86% of them said that it was the very valuable insights, and 50% of them said that it will be very good if they had some thing that gonna record it everything for them. So we also fixed it with some educational technology, educational theories that say that our app can minimize the load for the brain of students, so they can use their time for more studying and then making more notes.
Okay, just speaking of our user's interface, I'm showing to it's like a very user friendly because it's very, very simple. So firstly, we just transcribe what the teacher said in the class, the audios into the texture slide, and our accuracy of transcript is like 97.8%, and then we just divided the text in the audios by the original audios into the several parts, but in a logical ways. And finally, we are using our embedding models to match the textures and the corresponding PowerPoint slide part together and make it to a very constructed and complete starting notes that can make every lectures permanent and learning resources. Thank you.
Right, thank you. The time is up, I'm sorry. So now we'll move on to the Q&A sessions where there will be 12 minutes. I will pass the time to the judges now. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. So I'm not really quite sure I understand. So why can't people just watch the lecture back?
Because you don't have much time. Like for example, for our experience, our lectures normally takes 3 hours, 2.5 hours, and when you trying to study at night or something like this, you don't have a whole 3 hour again. So you making one lecture 2 times, 3 times. So when you're recording whole lecture for the 2 hours, for the 3 hours, it will be boring and impossible to listen all 3 hours again. That's why we try to focus on that.
Thank you for the presentation. What's the difference between this learning tool compared to Notebook LM, where it can completely digest the 3 hours lecture, give you the summary, audio, visual, and text, and give you a quiz?
So we tried to make some analog of this. So
I'm sorry?
Try to not to copy, but make it more user-friendly, because the subscriptions is very expensive for the students, and not all of them want to spend money for the taking notes for the course that they don't care if they didn't listen. So try to make it for everyone use.
So your proposition is to make a more user-friendly version
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Notebook LM
Yeah, yeah.
at a lower cost.
Yeah.
How do you measure that the students actually learn better using your products?
We didn't test it yet because it's our first year and we just finished to building up everything correctly. So the LLM and everything is work perfectly with each other. So
Will you plan to measure?
yeah, we working with our university management to try to use it for the real studies, for the making some arrangements with the teachers, so we can use it in the future.
Okay.
In terms of what you mentioned about the impromptu type of teaching, how relevant or how important this is? You know, you are from the education university, so you are the expert in teaching, right? I also teach, but I'm not the expert in teaching. So, but how important it is in the whole context of teaching in a lecture? You know, why is it important to capture notes on that?
So importance is that usually one student has like for the 4 years he has maybe like 4 or 5 courses per semester, and most of them just like passing by. So most of the students try to like just pass and go. But our goal is not to just pass by, but also master the lecture, course, some topic and everything, so he can really learn and use it in the future. So that was the goal.
Question is, how important is impromptu teaching in learning?
Impromptu teaching.
Yeah, why is it important? Why do we have
Because when you try to explain with a plain text, with the static texts, no one gonna explain like understand it. So for example, here maybe they're sitting like 50 people. They saw our like text, our slides, and half of them maybe just missed what we said, and half of you maybe missed what he said and he said. So it's to make it common for everyone to learn in a one way. So because everyone is learning in a different ways, everyone has their own way to learn or experience the knowledge taking. So that was the goal. Like it's very important to explain for everyone. So for example, now I explained to you what I meant. So now you are like know more what our goal is. So you take more from my freestyle in a Q&A than from the slides. That's the importance.
I actually think it's a great idea because I mentioned why couldn't you watch the lecture back, because for example Richard Feynman, which is a great impromptu lecturer, the famous physicist, you really lose a lot of the flavor of the lecture just by listening just back to the audio or the transcript. So you know you could consider adding a watch the video back feature where you can actually kind of experience the passion of the lecturer.
Also we didn't have time for demo. There is a slide and the text of like the script of the teacher, what he said. So you can like see it, roll back, play the audio again, and you will listen it with his voice, how he explained it with his like manner and everything. So we also noticed that. So no questions? Thank you very much for listening.
Right, thank you, judges. Thank you. Right, also thank you for the presentation from the Education University of Hong Kong. So you can sit back now. Thank you.